Household enemies, the story of David.
Matthew 10:36, a mass enemy will be a member of his household. In today's message, I will be telling two historical stories to explain the patterns of household enemies and how to deal with them. There was a man named David who found favor in the sight of God. God took him through a journey where his musical skill and warrior skills improved to a legendary level. This led to David's adventure and made him gain popularity and fame, making him a member of the king's household who defeated a giant called Goliath. Saul and David had a strange relationship. The territory David was assigned to rule is currently ruled by Saul. This is why when Saul noticed the presence of God in David's life, he became very jealous because he knew that David would take the throne from him as long as God is with him. He knew how he got into power and became king and how God told him that he has dismissed him from being king before God's presence left him. The presence that made him strong and wise is now with David. The power behind his rise is now with someone else. This made them become natural enemies, and he knew David was destined to take over his territory, so he wants him dead. This is the same thing that happens in families, societies, and states. You cannot become a king or a success without a fight. If you do not fight, your destiny might be denied. David needed the grace of God to defeat Saul because if he killed him directly, his rule would have been challenged, even if he was anointed as the successor of Saul. So instead of killing him, he had to spare him. Saul was an household enemy, so he had to wait on the Lord. But because of his faithfulness, God still found a way to make him king. So if your story is like this, the territory that was meant for you is still occupied by a king, you should know that you are in a similar type of war like David. Your enemy might be using a demonic power, but remember, the kingdom of God suffers violence, and only the violent taketh it by force. So it is advisable to fight and claim your territory or reconcile with the fact that you might never achieve God's plans for your life.